Go. All right, we're live on Facebook, by the way. Facebook, what's up? It's the Arty 84 show, episode 184 ish. I think it's 184. Something
Sure.
like that.
Something like that.
Can you hear me better? Am I more clear now?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yep.
I don't know why I waste my time setting everything up before the show starts, just so I have to fucking reboot it 5 minutes before we do the show. Maybe I should just reset the router. That's what I'm gonna just start doing. Just reset the router before. Yeah. Then set everything up. So I'm not doing everything twice. Fuck. Glad it's not 100 degrees out here. Up here, it's only about 90 degrees today, so it's not too bad. Could be worse. You know how it is. So we have a guest. Hopefully, should be joining us shortly. Let me maybe make sure she didn't send me a message or anything on here. And no, that could be sometimes. Remember we got the guy last week. We didn't get him on.
He gets to. He's like in his bed. Yeah.
Sarah Fatemi. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. Comedian. She'll be joining us shortly, probably another 10-15 minutes or so. Let's see. I think she's in LA. Let's hope she didn't think it was 8 p.m. LA time.
Might have.
That happens sometimes. It's happened more than once, even though I say EST, which means Eastern Standard Time. Some people don't know that,
Yep. No, I feel you. Yeah.
So this is like day 24, me not drinking. This is interesting. I'm on the diet, lost 7 pounds.
Awesome.
I can fit into my old shorts again. It's nice.
Did you ever, what I was worried about, and this hasn't happened to me at all yet, but like I always worry about it, and if it ever did, it'd be a warning sign that I got to get back, like work out even harder than I do now. But I'm always been concerned about the fat above the dick. I never want that.
Oh God, no, that's fucking
like
terrible.
the fat above the dick. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like that.
God. Yeah, you ever see that in a girl too? It's fucking horrendous. What the fuck happened? How does that happen?
Some people just carry it there. It has a term. I forget what it's called, but I never want the fat above the dick.
Yeah, no, it's a gut. Like you should, like they say, like when you cannot see your dick anymore, that's when you probably should do something with yourself. I wasn't at that point, but I could see myself if I continued on the path I was on. Well, sooner or later, become to that situation, which I'm the man without seeing his dick. I would have to put a mirror on the floor and angle it just right so I could see myself appropriately.
It's called fupa.
Fupa.
Yeah, the fat above the dick. Yeah, it's. I'm
gonna go on a limb and say there's a lot of people who listen to our show that has fupa.
Fat above the dick. Yeah, probably.
And I'm not saying you guys are fat slobs out there listening to the show, but I'm gonna say there's a lot of people who may or may not be in the greatest shape ever. We
all get a little lazy sometimes.
Right. The older you get, the more. Now I'm in a rhythm now, so I actually get pissed if I don't go to the gym on the days I go to the gym. You know what I mean? Like it's like part of my routine. But
you're gonna have a drink tomorrow when we go to the Red Hat.
I will have it. We're going to the Red Hat. Was it the Red Hat Bar? It's called, or just the Red Hat in Boston, Bowdoin Square. It's a bar. It's been there for like 100 years. I must have walked by it probably 1,000 times. Never even noticed it was even there. It's on the corner next to a Dunks. The Blue Line.
Riley's been there.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, they have dirty taps.
Yeah, but we'll be drinking bottled beer, considering the fact they're closing on Sunday. I seen someone post something on Facebook. I'm into these like dive bars. I love these old divey bars, like the smells. There's a lot in Boston. There's a lot in New York City. And it's something you really don't get in Florida or any of those like southern states. You maybe like some of like Charleston, some of like the old cities, but like you go to Miami or something like that, or like Fort Myers or something, you're not gonna get those divey bars that are like old and like have a history to them.
I feel like Mid America would have a bunch of them.
Yeah,
they all need like a watering hole, people to drink.
Like in those farm towns and stuff where they have like the little downtown or some shit. But I'm big into it. So I seen something online. Someone posted that the Red Hat was going out of business, and it looks like every other dive bar ever. It goes downstairs. It reminds me of a lot of ones I spent time in college at, and a lot of those are actually closed too, which is kind of sad. But those are places I wouldn't necessarily eat at because I'm really, really particular of what I eat.
We could try to do too if we were feeling up to it. If we had a few drinks there, we could try to mosey on then over to Fenway Park because the Red Sox are playing the Yankees. Tickets are still available.
That is a interesting proposition there. Huh. Sox, Yankees, Fenway, life back to normal.
We'll see.
Kind of,
We'll
I
see.
like the way you're thinking there. I'm sure we could probably get some tickets for probably like $20, maybe some standard
Yeah,
room. Get in there.
like within the last like half hour at the end of work, I logged on to my RedSox.com account. They were still tickets to this.
Hmm. Well, there you go. There's something to do. Red Sox playing tonight too, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they finish up in Tampa today. I think.
Yeah. The Tampa's playing them pretty damn hard. Pretty damn hard.
Not as hard as the fucking Astros that play them.
Yeah,
Jesus.
fucking Astros own us. The Astros are our daddy. I want to know. I meant to tell you. Remember, I was telling you about that podcast I was listening to called "Missing a 9/11," and how I'm like progressively getting very, very annoyed with this fucking podcast. In fact, I actually commented on iTunes, which I've never done in my life, on a podcast that was so enraged after I listened to the episode a couple of days ago. So basically, what happens is, to give you a synopsis, it's this chick, Sinea, and it's a story that's been all over back. I never really heard about it before until I did some research, but apparently it was kind of a known story. She went missing, I guess, technically on 9/10, but also 9/11. So you got to listen to the story, read the story. But basically, what happened is she never went home on September 10th. She lives 2 blocks away from the World Trade Towers, and her family thinks that she ran into the towers to save people. But she was having like a lesbian affair on one side, and she was facing charges of like the justice system on another side. And I don't know. It was a very, the more you like read into this chick, she wasn't exactly the most straight and narrow type of person. She was definitely fucking around on the side or doing something. And I'm gonna go there and say I conclude that she just took off and took advantage of the situation, and was like very smart about doing it. Like it was all coincidental that she just, how would she know unless she did know?
I'm pretty sure they got Verizon in your area now, buddy. I thought I just plugged in your like West. I just put it in West Newbury in the Verizon website. It looks like their address is in West Newbury popping up.
No, they do. They're actually running the wires on the street right now.
You should really
They've
look
been
into
working on
that.
for the last month.
In terms of speed, they
so.
are better. Like you can actually, like they've made so many upgrades in terms of speed. Like they're way better.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. This is fucking terrible. I mean, it's like it knows when I'm using it too.
Bastards.
It's like it knows that I'm using it, and it's like gonna piss me off. Now I gotta get all this fucking. Come on, you fucker. This is terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. It's funny when you edit the shows because some stuff gets cut off, so it's a clear edit.
Your birthday's coming up, right?
Yeah, in 3 weeks.
Right.
Big 3-7. So they say. All right, I think we're back on Facebook right now. Let's see. Do the old Facebook check. People are watching on Facebook must love it because it's like, hey, if they're him, they're not. Oh, there you go. They can hear us. Now it looks clear. So I guess the key is to reset my internet 19 times. That's the old key, 19 times. Yeah, so the 9/11 thing, basically, long story short, I was going at it. She went missing, and her family's trying to find her. And I think she just took advantage of a situation. By the way, it's the 84 show if you just joined us, episode 180 something. But we're talking about missing the 9/11 and this terrible podcast. So I was so enraged because each episode's 30 minutes long, and fucking 7 minutes of it's commercial. So it's like, and then another 5 or 10 minutes is just recapping from the last episode. So you're getting like 10 minutes. Literally, they could have done this in 2 like pots, maybe a half hour a piece, and summed it all up. And all it is the guy's reading the story from like whatever. And he's like, we try to contact so-and-so, but they were unresponsive. We try to do this, but we got no answers. We try to reach out to this person, but they got no answers. So basically what he's summing up is nothing more than I could read in a Wikipedia search, which is kind of ridiculous. So it's called missing. And first of all, I hate the way they word everything and they set it up. It's I don't know what that means. Fuck. Oh, I don't like the way they sum it up. It's so called. It's episode 2, missing from 9/11, right? So I went to go Google episode like season 1, right? Because wouldn't you assume season 1 would have been like missing from 9/11 as well?
Yeah, you think?
Well, no, it's missing in Alaska, season 1. It's like a completely different show. It's the same premise. It's about these two politicians who went missing in Alaska.
Oh, so every season's like a different missing.
But don't call it season 2 because it makes no sense. Or just call the show Missing.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
In Alaska, missing dash 9/11. Because I thought it was a story of a bunch of perhaps 9/11 stories, all like in a podcast, which would be interesting if there was like 7 different stories, right? But it's not. So I was so angered, and then I went on to the iTunes account to leave my nasty message. And
so what in particular were you angry about? Just like the way it spread out, like the way it is?
Yeah. First of all, the commercials kill me. And the fact that episode 5 came on the other day and I learned no new information. We just went around a circle from the beginning to the end to the episode. Nothing was even established.
Yeah, stretch them out so bad. All of them are like that. Even McMillions was like that. Like, it's torture.
McMillions, exactly. Yeah. What was it about? Like, what was that, 7 episodes?
Yeah, something like that. And like they could have made it like 4, 3. It's just gets so stretched out. I hate it when documentaries do that. It's so annoying.
It was like around like the 5th episode that it lost me completely. I was like, all right, well, I get the premise. You could have just summed it all up. It's like now you're just like stretching it for whatever reasons. I know they probably have an obligation to have so much commercial on, over so many episodes. But I know I was reading the comments. I was not the only one to say exactly what I thought. There were people saying exactly what I said, saying, basically saying, fucking the same exact things. This is long. It's just repetitive. It's like I don't understand. Let's see. I don't know what's going on. She's trying to Instagram video me. Let's see.
So the conclusion was this woman in 9/11 ran into, like, disappeared, and they said she might have died in the towers, but she had no business being there. But there's this whole thing with the ex-husband. Regardless of where the situation went, she's dead. I don't think she ran away. She's dead.
You think she's dead? How do you think she died?
What?
You think she was actually in the building?
No, somebody killed her, obviously. There's no way she ran away, because no one this day and age, unless you have a shit ton of money, can pull that off. Like,
that was like 20-something years ago, though.
Still, you still have to have a ton of money. There's no way you can do that.
It's actually funny. The police department actually had her dead 3 years after 9/11.
Yeah, that's a lot of people, because they couldn't find any bodies. So eventually they claimed people dead. But remember, all air traffic was suspended. So it's not like she could have flown anywhere. And even though everything was chaos, like, it's just someone would have seen her. You know what I mean? It's extremely unlikely that she ran away. She died. Someone murdered her. That's what happened.
It could be. I think the brother might have something to do with it too. The brother's a suspicious character. So it was the brother's girlfriend she was fooling around with.
Oh, infidelity's involved. She's definitely dead. That's like money and infidelity is the number, like 1 and 2 reasons people murder each other.
Well, they're Indian too, so they're very religious. And then she had like psychological issues, and then she was facing charges in court about harassing or misclaiming someone or something like that.
100%
so it's like
dead.
She could be dead. Someone could have killed her. And I mean, just coincidentally, like, it all worked out. Well, maybe she took advantage of the situation, then she got killed. You know what I mean? I don't think she's alive. It's just a weird story. But like, because they couldn't prove that she died in 9/11, they weren't eligible for any money that was given to people who had families that was like millions of dollars. And they somehow finally finagled something to make it work. And her name is on the plaque outside of one of the towers, like around, like, with all the names and stuff. It's just fucking bizarre. I bet
it sounds just like a perfect storm of things that, like, going on in her life, and then 9/11 happening at that moment. But like, anytime I hear a story where someone goes missing, oh, but she was sleeping with this person, they fuck it has something to do with that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, there's sex going on or something like that. But where would they do it for body? Where do you think the body is?
There's a lot of places you can hide a body. You know how many missing people are in this world? You know,
there's a lot of places you can hide a body, especially when you're not looking for a body. You know what I mean? Like, if you killed someone, 9/11, what happened? You drove the body up to upstate New York and buried it up there. It'd be years before someone found it, you know?
With Jimmy Hoffa.
Yeah. Which we all know he's now buried in a basement in some house in Detroit, right? Is that allegedly the story?
Yeah, it changes every couple of years.
Well, you've seen The Irishman, right?
Yeah.
Like the last scene, they buried him in the basement of that house in Detroit or something. So
remember he was also under a goalpost, at that stadium. Yeah.
Old Giant Stadium.
I think it's in the bottom of an ocean. That's probably the most likely place.
I know. I really think he's in that backyard, like encrusted in like, yeah, I think that's because after I watched the movie, I was reading into it, and he was up in Detroit for a wedding. That was the last time he was seen, and he had to meet those guys. All that was true. And then they said in the movie to put him in the basement of the, and then you look at the house. The house is like, it's still there, but it's abandoned. It's still owned by someone, but no one lives there. It's really creepy.
Well, there have been so many with Hoffa, there have been so many digs. Like there have been so many like that. Like you would think if that was a spot,
you would think that's true.
They would have dug that one already because they've been so many places they've looked, but like he could be on the fucking moon for all I know.
He's one of the Apollo missiles. They just shoved him up into space. They kidnapped him, threw him in the fucking back of the missile.
Yeah. All right.
All that good stuff. Yeah. So it's been a week. We weren't on last week. We had to take a week off, but and we're usually back on Wednesdays. I don't know why. I think I'm having a stroke. I smell burnt toast. No, usually on Wednesday. So we're gonna be back on next Wednesday. Yes, The Irishman was one of the longest movies ever. I actually watched it in 3 parts. I watched it in hour intervals because it's just too long.
That's the best way to watch it.
It was like 4 hours though, isn't it? I think it was more than 3 hours.
Man. It's like a fucking half work day.
And I love those. No, and I love those type of movies, but it's like even like Casino, that's like 2 hours and 75, 2 hours and like 45 minutes long. That's a long ass movie to watch too. So it's like,
dude, Scorsese's just all of his movies are like that, like 3 fucking hours. Like, fuck.
Doesn't like to cut shit out, I guess. Oh
no, but that's why. But the reason why The Irishman went to Netflix was because the studio was like, no, you got to cut this down. It's too long, and he didn't want to, so the studio bailed on him.
That's what happens. All right, so we talked about The Irishman. We talked about Missing on 9/11 podcast. I mean, listen to it for yourself. Let me know what you think. I think it's could have been. I learned more just reading a couple of websites about this lady who is crazy. I believe it's 20 years ago too. It's fucking crazy. Also, we talked about Dick Fat. Okay, so that might have been before we got cut off, but we established that if you can't see your wee no more.
No, you can still see it if you have the fat above the dick. You can still see your wee.
You just don't want to have that. We just
you don't want to have that.
Want to go make a public service announcement to help prevent what was it called? The WABA?
FUPA.
For all you out there, release the FUTA. And I am 25 days, no drinking, on the keto diet, lost 7 pounds, and I feel great. Been going to the gym, and I've lost my little belly for the most part. Now I just got to shape it. I think I'm about the steroids. I think I might just get on the steroids.
I would advise that.
Yeah, you don't think it's huge? Like I just walk around.
I would say test. If you're gonna go that route, I think testosterone therapy is better than steroids in terms of your personal health. Yeah, the T stuff's fine. Like it just doesn't. It makes you not have kids though. It takes away from some of your sperm counts. I hear. Allegedly, I don't know. I think it's something I'll need. My testosterone is pretty high. I think I'm like a. I mean, the sad thing is though. I mean, we're at an age where it's obviously going down. Like no matter what, like that's what happens. Like it's all downhill from like 19.
Downhill. Oh yeah, absolutely. That's where you lose your hair. That's where your metabolism shuts down. All that stuff. But all right. So let's bring in our guest, Sarah Fatemi. I was right. She got Fatemi. I think that's how you say it. I'm probably saying it completely wrong because we don't know how to pronounce stuff. And we were right. She mixed up Eastern Standard Time and Pacific Standard Time.
Another late Californian.
I know it's actually like really early. It's like 5:30 out in California right now. Hello, Sarah. She's connecting. Can you?
Hello. Hi.
We didn't wake you from a nap, did we? I'm sorry.
No, you didn't. I just got out of the shower to look fresh for you guys, and I'm so incredibly sorry that I thought it was 8 p.m. PST. That's what happens when you've been living in California. Bob.
Yeah.
That was humble bragging that I live in California. This is just me trying to excuse my brain having apparently taken too many edibles this month.
It was too.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Sponsorship.
Yeah, we're looking for one. If we could find an edible shop that would like to sponsor the show, we'd be more than happy.
I call this the California cop out though, because I feel like we've had like 3 people from California now say, "Oh, it was the time." It was. I just think it's a natural Californian thing to be late. So they say it was the time. We forgot. You know.
I'm sorry. I had an Instagram photo shoot. Like.
Oh, well then. Excuse us. I'm just kidding.
No, I wanted to excuse. I was doing Pilates with my roommate. How LA is that? I was doing Pilates, you guys. I ran late. I'm really sorry.
Okay. I mean, we don't know.
Right after I had my avocado toast, you know, right after I posed against the pink wall. This isn't just a brag.
We're used to
before you fought off some homeless people.
Yeah, we had Tom Brady for a quarterback for 20 years, so we're used to him eating avocado shit and being late and doing Instagram model stuff. So we're kind of used to that stuff.
Are you guys from Boston?
Yes.
I am in love with your accents. It is the sexiest accent I've ever heard.
Oh, Adam, you know, we get that all the time, and it's like, you ever hear it on a woman though? It's not so nice.
Yeah, it's not good on a woman. It's not good.
We have a lot of comedians from Boston out here. Actually, one of my best friends is a Bostonian comedian. His name's Mark Stevens. Is his name?
Mark Stevens. So
yeah.
What part of the area is he from? Do you know?
Out of the area. No, I'll ask him though. But isn't that where Blue Mountain State is also? It's supposed to take place there, right, in Boston, right? You know the show Blue Mountain State. It's about the football college.
I think so. I think I watched it once or twice. I'm not into TV usually, unless it involves a sporting event or some guy on YouTube traveling around the country in an RV. Those are about the extent to my viewing capacities.
What? So like bang?
Yeah, I broke up, but I know exactly what you said. Adam, do you know what you said?
What?
I go up into guys traveling around the country in an RV, and she's like Bang Brothers. She's when your signal goes out. When we see your signal goes out, we're just blaming it on California's wonderful infrastructure.
Yes, we do that. Yeah.
She has a brownout in the middle of the show.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Got hit with an earthquake. Tell me.
Oh shit.
Wait, did you really?
Yeah, for like 2 seconons.
Oh my god.
But you're at this point. I was like, am I high? Is this enhancing the high or making it worse?
I would feel that was the most terrifying experience of my life if I ever had to do that.
Yeah. Have you guys ever been through an earthquake?
No, not that we know of.
Very, very slightly. I used to go out to California like every year. I have friends who live in Ontario, which smells like cow poop. But I used to go there like every year to hang out with them, and I go to LA or whatever. But yeah, I remember one time I was like, "What the fuck is happening?" It's like everyone else is like, "Whatever, this is nothing."
But fine. You know, California. So I'm originally from Ohio. So we get like tornadoes, we get floods. I mean, I'm sure Boston goes through the same thing at some point, right? Like you guys get heavy rain.
We've seen snow with lightning. There's not even weather like that in the Bible. I mean, that's like
and I'll throw some Californians into that situation. They're gonna change their tune real quick. For us, though, there could be like a pond in front of us, and we'll be texting with one phone and eating a gordita in the other hand, and riding through it like it ain't shit.
It's amazing as a state that has so much fire but so much water, but the two of them just can't touch.
Nope.
Magical.
Touch tips. They can't.
Yeah, they don't.
We got all the world.
You got a lot of energy right now. I'm very impressed with your energy. So what have you been up to?
What have I been up to? Well, I just did roast battle in the main room at the Comedy Store Tuesday night against Tony Bartoloni. He won, but it was a very high energy battle. The crowd they filled out the main room. They loved our jokes. They loved the rebuttals. Jeff Ross was like, this was the best battle I've ever seen you do. Are you guys on Mint Comedy at all? That's actually the platform that they're streaming roast battle on now.
Oh, shit.
Okay, we'll check that out. Mint Comedy, it's called?
Yeah. I believe their Instagram handle is Real Mint Comedy. But stream all comedy stuff there. And then Saturday I had this grand finale of the Crazy Woke Asians. That's like a big variety comedy show, sketches, roast battles, stand up, a bunch of stuff. And I've been winning consistently January through April. And they brought thanks. Brag at this point. This is just me trying to get you guys to both date me. So
a long distance interview. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for real. I don't know. I don't know if you're gonna like me with this Dodgers top though. I know you guys are probably Patriots fans.
Red Sox. The Dodgers are baseball. So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god. No.
I thought she was
just
okay. I was like, oh, that's a funny joke. I get it. She doesn't know sports.
Wow.
No, but she really doesn't.
That just backfired on you.
You know sports, okay? I just like
guy.
Hey, it's sports guy. You know, when the Patriots play the Dodgers once a year. That was a good time.
Please. Oh my god. Wow. That did not just happen. Sorry, I'm not white. I pay attention more to soccer. Do you guys watch soccer at all?
Ugh, not really.
Oh, that was wow. Okay, that didn't happen.
I went to a professional soccer game once, and we spent the entire game just getting bombs on beers.
0-0 the whole game.
0-0. That was the end, and we were just like, wow, what did we just watch? And then we walked out, and my cousin smoked in an elevator, and that was the night.
With a small child.
With a small child with us, like he lit up a cigarette in the elevator with us. It's illegal to smoke indoors anywhere. And it's like California, like, you know, and here he is. That's all I remember from the soccer game. So I guess that's my extent of soccer knowledge.
Oh, yeah, you know, and honestly, the international teams are better. I mean, it's kind of like, you know, obviously, I mean, well, I don't know if any other country has football, but like, you know, you don't watch football in Canada. They apparently are starting that shit now. But it's like, no, you come to where the best of that is. But so football is your favorite sport?
I would say so. Baseball, football. We fancy all the
Cool.
Boston 4 sports, I guess you could say.
Boston.
We like to win championships up there.
Where are you guys located in Boston?
North of the city. So
That's right.
I'm close to New Hampshire. He's close to downtownish. We're about halfway. I'm about like 30 minutes from downtown right now.
Oh, that's awesome. You know, I've never been to Boston. I've been dying to go. What should I when I visit? What should I bring with me?
Well, it depends what time of year you go. If you're going in January, I'd wear the biggest coat and snow pants and some boots because it's probably going to snow. If it was coming in July, it's probably going to be 99 degrees outside. So I'd wear something comfortable to be outside because it's too extremes there. We had a 30-degree switch in temperature in one day the other day. It went from like being like 90 degrees outside to like 60 degrees outside. So
I remember in Ohio, we would get 4 seasons in a day. And so we would wake up and it would be like 40 degrees. And so you'd wear a heavy winter coat. And then 2 hours later, it would be like 75 degrees. And then it would start raining. And then at night, it was like back to freezing. So, I mean, I feel like, I don't know if there's that similarity.
yeah, it's pretty similar to that, I guess you'd say. But there's a good big comedy scene here. I don't know. It's starting to. It never really went away last year. It kind of was like underground type shit. But it started to pick up. It's back to normal. So I think everything's pretty much back to normal. Any bars that are still open that didn't close are back to what they're supposed to be doing. Adam and I are going to a bar that's closing actually tomorrow. It's like 100-year-old bar in the city that we've never been to. That they're going out of business.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
That's exciting. Guys get to visit that. That's really lit. That's 100-year-old bar, so they probably have like remnants of prohibition in there.
Oh, yeah.
I remember I was shooting a TV show and they took us to this bar in downtown LA called, well, I'm not allowed to say the name of it, but in the basement area, literally they still had the structures that they would like make moonshine in the back, and then people would come knock on the door and get their moonshine back in the 20s.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Old school stuff. Yeah. Now they have those fake bars, those fake prohibition bars where you go into it, you like walk into a library and then you open the bookshelf and here you are in a bar in the back with 900 other people. It's amazing. How did everyone figure out what this bar was? It really must be.
We're so privileged. It's like bougie to be oppressed.
Yeah, it's weird, right? Like it's like they're building bars about the time they couldn't sell booze at their bar. It's like, oh, it's kind of a weird turn, you know?
Well, speaking of bookcase openings, if you have you guys ever been out to LA? Have you been to Davy Wayne's?
Never been to Davy
I
Wayne.
think I've been there now.
So it's a bar in downtown well, not even downtown LA, in Hollywood.
Oh, wait, it's like, isn't it like 70s kind of style?
Yeah, it's like speakeasy, and you enter through a refrigerator.
Yes. Okay, yeah, I've been there. Yes. Yep. The refrigerator. Yep. I remember the refrigerator.
That's yeah. I mean, I love different kind of styled bars like that and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's there's actually a sneaker store in Boston that you walk through a drink machine and you go into the back and it's like all like high-end sneakers and stuff.
That's really cool. Oh my goodness, people are getting creative. I love that.
So yeah, if you make it out here, there's plenty to do. I would say you wouldn't find, I think there's comedy every night for the most part. You could keep yourself busy, you know. But isn't that kind of like going down from LA to Boston? Don't people go from Boston to LA? There's that brown
actually a lot. Yeah, well, there's, I mean, I could literally name on two hands how many Boston comics we have out here. They're also really strong, so that I think the scene really prepares them to come to LA too.
Yeah, I mean, it's a make or break. We there's this one place that has a mic, which like on a Tuesday, there's like, I don't know, 120 people that sign up for it. It's like literally like a 7-hour long like open mic. It's crazy. So there's a lot of people trying to be funny, I guess you could say, is the key.
Wow. See, out here recently, we have had a lot of pay to play mics. So you pay $5 and then but it starts at noon, goes till 9. You have to slot it online. You have to fill out your slot, and there's 10 comics allowed, and everybody has to pay for everybody's set. You're not allowed to leave, but it's like $5 for an hour. And there's been a lot of debate over whether or not that's like ethical.
Yeah.
I kind of like it because I don't like it when comics, like, they do their set and everyone was an audience, but then they kind of dip when the next person does their set. It's like, you know, unless you're booked for something else, it's kind of like, you know, you got to show that mutual support.
So Boston has none that I know of that you have to pay to go. Like now they have or bringers. We have no bringers either.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty much every mic's open. You go and sign up because there's so many of them. You really couldn't have the competition because if you started doing like a bringer show, the 2 other bars down the street that have a mic that night are just going to take all the comics from there. So it's like kind of like they got to keep each other in check a little bit, which I like. The first time I went to New York to do comedy, all I found was stupid bringer shows, or you had to pay so much money to be on set for like and I was like, it's kind of lame. Like, I just want to go to the place where I can just go into a dive bar, go up for 5 minutes and hang out, drink, and then bounce, you know? But
yeah, totally. You know, bringer shows are also still a big kind of thing out here, especially you know, for third-party producers at bigger clubs. And that's also a big debate, like, is it right? Should they be doing that? I did a lot of bringer shows my first like year of comedy. Just
makes sense because you have a crowd, you know what I mean? But then at that point, is it really a mic anymore, or is it just a show? Because if it's a mic, everyone's just kind of mostly you know, mics. So that's mostly comics just hanging out there, just throwing shit around. They're not even paying attention half the time.
Yeah.
They're just trying to get their shit together and that. But like when you cross over and like there's these things like open mic bringer shows, it's like, well, that's kind of productive because now they have to pay to go in. It's a show, so now you're building an audience. So it's not really it's a very weird area for me. I guess I just can't wrap my mind around it. I get confused.
Yeah.
I got a question.
Yeah. I was sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no. I was just saying it was nice to kind of, you know, for some like big rooms, it's nice to get your foot in the door with a bringer show, you know, have that photo on and kind of network a little bit. But yeah, it's not, you know, at some point you got to just kind of rely more on networking and, you know, your actual set. And obviously, what were you going to say? Sorry.
No, I was going to ask you a question. I'm remembering this bar I was at once in LA, and it was fucking evil because I was already drunk, and I remember all these fucking doorknobs. And like that was like their gimmick. Like you got to find the right fucking doorknob to get into the actual bar. Right. And I remember I was losing my fucking mind. I was already pissed off and my friends are laughing and found the way in. I can't remember the name of I'm trying to Google it right now. I'm just trying to find what the fuck it is. So Uno Momento.
There was like there's Dirty Laundry, which I don't think that's it. Did you have to go?
No, you're in this fucking room. It's all black. There's a bunch of fucking doorknobs. It's all fucking...
What?
Sounds
That
like-
sounds
Wait,
That's
lock and
like-
key. Got it. It's the lock and key.
I haven't been there yet.
I don't know if it's still there though. I don't know. That was years, so many years ago. But I just remember it drove me fucking insane.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
Well, we all already had our own lock and key this past year and a half, so I could see. Go there.
I was able to find the doorknob every time. I would be very angry if I was going to my refrigerator and I couldn't open it up because I couldn't find the right doorknob to get a bear out of it.
For real. And I locked myself in the bathroom way too many times. So I mean, I'm okay to not put myself in that situation.
Purposely or by accident?
By accident. Well, okay, like twice on purpose, but you know.
How do you lock yourself in the bathroom? Usually, isn't it the knob turns to get out of the bathroom? Do you have a reverse doorknob?
These were, well, some of these were in the Middle East. They were kind of janky doors, and you know what I mean? It was just, Uncle was joking. He's like, ha, Iranian hostage crisis.
Blame the edibles. Just blame the edibles.
Explain the edibles. I mean,
blame them. Blame the edibles.
oh, yes, edibles. I should, yeah, totally.
Did you do any online shows at all during the last year of hell?
Yeah, I did pretty much every Zoom show that I was offered. I wanted to, you know, keep the what I practice. I didn't want to forget my set. I didn't want to, you know, just have to start over basically. And plus it was a lot of fun because we weren't allowed to see anybody. After would hang out and it was just mental health.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think the whole shutdown for a year like weeded out a lot of the people who were just like not good, or the people who like had this false self-esteem. Where do people get this like all this confidence from? You know?
Oh yeah, like comics that were doing Zoom shows, or
yeah, and I think like that like kind of just finally weeded them out. So you're not gonna be bothered with them at the open mics anymore if they're awkward humor and stuff. I think they kind of just went bye-bye. Hopefully, purge the comics, the comic purge, if you say.
Yeah, we had a ton of comics move to Austin, and it's like, did a lot of Boston comics leave too, or did they all kind of stay put?
I think they all stayed put. They were doing their shows. I mean, there was not much going on anywhere, so I guess the best place to be was up here. A lot of them actually went to. I know a lot of people went to Florida and South Carolina to do shows, so they were busy.
Yeah, but these comics, like a bunch of them, straight up just moved to Austin.
I was gonna say that. Yeah, it seems like the Austin scene, Texas has kind of exploded along with Joe Rogan over there.
Their comedy scene's pretty good. It's up and coming over there. They get a lot of clubs. It's not like LA or New York or Boston, but from what I understand, they have like, I don't know what they have for mics. I know they do a lot of shows of like a lot of headliners and stuff, but
yeah, I think Tony Hinchcliffe relocate there too, and
a lot of Joe Rogan, and then I think the fucking, who was it? Every day someone's saying they're getting the hell out of California and going to Texas, I guess. So, you know.
Yeah, no, it depends what you want. I mean, if you're not just pursuing stand-up, if you're also pursuing like acting, maybe screenwriting, something like that, I mean, it's best to stay in LA. But I haven't been to the Austin comedy scene, so I can't judge. But it sounds like you said, like it's popping and like people get a lot of stage time.
How long you been in LA for?
5.5 years. Yeah.
Damn. It's
spiritual 20 something years.
So I mean, compared to what part of Ohio are you from? Was it
Toledo, right near.
Yeah, so you're from a city. So, but obviously LA is a bigger city. So it's not like you came from like Amish country and then went to the big old city, right?
I used to refer to Toledo as a small town, and then I realized it's not a small town; it's just a shitty city. So. I'm from a city, so it kind of but
276,000 people. That's not much.
Yeah, and I mean culturally it's just so different, you know. Like there's diversity here, there's so much more, I guess. I mean, because in Ohio most people kind of just wanted to get married in their early 20s, have kids, settle down, live in a house, and that was kind of it. But Yeah, yeah. So it was fun. I've always wanted to live out here, you know.
Do
It was,
people say fully Toledo a lot to you when they see you and they find out you're from Toledo? Did they use that old gag?
um, not too, yeah, a few times. I'm actually really surprised people know what and where Toledo is.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, yeah. I mean, that's cool. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I shouldn't be shitting on my hometown. I mean, it's great. It's a great.
I just Googled it, and I would tell you a lot of not good is happening right now. Say it's like 3 days ago, 10 people shot, 3 killed in 7 separate shootings.
Okay.
Body found at park, and 3 men facing burglary charges. Those are the first 3 things that pop up.
Holy Toledo. That's what was that the headline for Holy Toledo?
Holy Toledo. Yeah.
Damn, Toledo.
The body was found in Orlando Park. That's usually you know, in the lake. That's yeah. But
right.
yeah, it was it definitely had its crime, and you know, but yeah, it's I just feel so much more out at home here, you know, especially in the stand-up community, because everyone's kind of got the same dream. I personally feel like people are pretty supportive. It's also a huge melting pot, people from all different walks of life, and like we're all just in a room together and we're all doing the same thing, and everyone has a story, and it's really cool. So yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that LA is a lot like DC. There's no one actually from there. They all like come from other places to live. It's like kind of like, yeah, you just like, oh, I'm from this place. And you never actually, it's very rare you ever meet someone who's from LA who's like, you know.
And you know what? It's funny because the few comics I know who are from LA are so not LA. One is like off, the other one is like, yeah, they're basically like, you know, not the Instagram pretty kind of carbless kind of person that you think of. And you know, the term so LA, when you say that's so LA in front of them, they're like, is it, or is that so LA transplant to act like an asshole? Like,
that's fair. Yeah,
the wannabes, you know, the ones, cool valley people, you know. I'm from LA, yeah, you know?
Yeah. People from LA are really nice and really laid back. It's really the transplants that love to come and start drama.
It's typically how it is in most cities. It's the other towners that are pains in the asses, you know.
Yeah, they learned from reality TV. It's fine. They're educating our children now. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, I use it as a Bible. The Jersey Shore I live to from season 1 to season 9. I know I live my life in terms of them, and whatever they say is the right thing. So
that's horrible.
Yeah.
So are most Boston, is the Boston comedy scene mostly comics from Boston, or do people come from all over?
I would say mostly comics from New England. I would say you get a lot of New Hampshire and Maynards and stuff like that. There's a lot of people from like around the city, but like you get a lot of New England, and then you occasionally get someone from out of like the New England area who only came here for a job or because they were married, or like they didn't come here as a destination to do comedy. So I think they don't know that it's a good boost to get to New York, because New York's only 4 hours away. You could get there on a bus for $20 each way if you wanted to, and go in New York and be home that night. But yeah, it's weird. It's just a lot of New England people. And then when you're out of town to come here, it's very annoying. Like if you get an LA person, it's very annoying. It's like, where are you from? You know, we hate people from the outside around in New England. Like, but we act like we like you. We're really
we have a lot of transplants too. I feel like a lot of transplants, the hipsters, you know, that live in like Cambridge and stuff like that. They're very a little the people that ride bicycles and then think that, you know, it's a problem that you're a car, you know, and they have every right to be on the road. And then that.
Sarah, are you a hipster, and do you ride a bike all the time? Out of curiosity.
Am I a hipster who rides a bike?
Yeah.
No, I actually I love driving. I hate bike riding actually. I don't know. It hurts my vagina, and I always feel like I'm gonna fall off. So
I just take the seat off the bike. It's more fun that way.
Well, I'm worried about sitting on my own balls.
Yeah, how does that work for guys? Like,
I think that's possible. Like, I think if it was hot enough and they were sagging enough, I sat on the seat, maybe they could fold under and I could sit on my own balls. I think that's possible.
Throw them on your shoulder.
when I was a kid, I just remember every time I got off a bicycle, my vagina like lips were like, ow. And I was like, ow. And one time I actually drove into a parked car, and like, I'm pretty sure I suffered such a bad concussion that I thought your show tonight was PST, not ESD. So
Yeah, 20 years later, it's still resonating in your head. It's like, damn.
Oh yeah, in my head. Yeah. Yeah. No, wait. So do most people in Boston ride bikes instead of
Yeah, Cambridge.
In parts of it.
Yeah, there's a town
Oh, okay.
next to Boston called Cambridge, where all like the colleges are, like Harvard and MIT, and they're all assholes, as Adam and I look at them. They're hipsters who don't belong here. They're like your stereotypical Boston person. They are not like that at all. They don't wear their socks hat. They don't like being sociable. They just want to ride their bikes in the streets, and then they elect politicians who make streets go away and turn them into bike lanes. So people with cars, like normal people like us, can't go anywhere. That's basically how it goes. And it makes the
bike lane is getting bigger. It's like it's almost the space of a car now. Like a bike lane. It's ridiculous.
That is very annoying. I can't stand bike riders out here in LA. And they see you driving behind them. They don't even make the effort to move a little to the side. They're like, oh, sorry, tailgate me. I don't care. Bye.
No, they're all assholes. You know what I mean? And I can't picture a lot of bike riding in LA. Isn't everything so spread out there? Like, isn't like everything?
This is like Venice. This is like kind of, yeah. I don't know if you know about the LA roadmap, but like, every part of town has its own culture. This is when you're not on the highway. Venice is a bitch to drive in. Most people are walking or, biking. LA is basically, it's a highway, and then there's just a different part of the city on each corner of it. But yeah, no, it's annoying. There's people who, to my knowledge, recently ride the bus, apparently. In LA, it's not a great, I don't know. Well, there's also like a free bus in West Hollywood that'll just take you around. But yeah, no, I just like to drive. Driving is fun. I like to turn up my music. Yeah.
Is there a subway in LA too, from what I understand? Is there not? Does it go anywhere?
I don't know if it's the subway. I know I have a friend who takes the train, like a train from Orange County. Yeah, the blue line. The blue line is definitely like, he's seen people get stabbed in front of him. He's been called a Nazi on there. It's like, nice. It does not fun time. So.
Well, they can't really have. I don't think they can have much of a transit system, especially underground, because of earthquakes. Well, so it's like it's very limited.
San Francisco has a very elaborate transit system, Adam, and there are earthquakes. So San Francisco has a very elaborate.
They do it above, not underground.
On the ground. Yeah. No, San Francisco is on the ground.
The part I remember it being above ground.
Some of it's above ground, but most of it, when it goes underneath the bay and downtown San Francisco, is all on the ground.
But it's not massive. It's not as big as like ours or New York's. I don't think it's there, and I'm sure it's reinforced, but it's not like.
I didn't know this turned into a train dick contest. Who has a bigger train dick?
Or you could both get on that train.
Up ahead of us. What do you think we're doing?
Podcasting next, real awkward.
What do you think we're doing, killing time when you were waiting for, which would be 8 o'clock your time, which would be about bedtime for Adam and I. It's 11 o'clock p.m.
For real. But also on the BART, they have protests like every other day where they shut it down. So it sounds like a real hassle to even have to rely on.
Oh yeah, look at that! I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, they're saying the subway in San Fran looks pretty good. I would say.
I know because I've taken the subway in San Fran underground. I've taken it under the bay from San Fran to Oakland. And that was an adventure.
I've been there twice. I never knew there was a subway.
There's a subway like in every corner. You can that's where like Jared gets you the big subs. The kid, Jared, that diddler from Subway.
Yeah, well, yeah.
There's not enough kids on that. No. Is it sad that when you were saying Subway, I was honestly thinking of the fast food chain Subway?
I know you were. That's why you were confused, and that's why I continued with the story, because I wanted to see if it was gonna. I was gonna be like,
Subway, Arty.
I was like, I was waiting for you to talk about how like the Italian's your favorite. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, Italian is my favorite. I love that kind of bread. What's like the most famous kind of Bostonian food, like that you have to go to Boston or from where you guys are?
Oh well, if you're gonna go stereotype, it's probably the clam chowder. That's probably if it's a stereotype, that's what you gotta have. I mean,
big Boston baked beans guy.
Yeah.
Boston cream pie.
Boston cream pie. Yeah.
Not the position.
If you're on the train, it'll be a real Boston pie.
That's true.
I'm sorry, we've been quarantined for too long.
They do have.
Sorry, was that too much?
No, I mean, I don't know. It's actually we've been meaning to get more edgy. We've kind of toned it down since we've not been together in the same room anymore. It's kind of weird. It's like we just talk about stuff, and it's like we used to have people do wild things on the air, and now this is the most excitement we've had in a while. So we appreciate it.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm happy I could bring that. Bible study starts in 20 minutes. So no, I'm kidding. Yeah, wow. I mean, the way you guys are describing Boston, though, I would love to come visit. It really seems like you have to visit it before you die.
You should. You know? Everyone tells us they're gonna come visit Arty, and they never do.
I know. We get it all the time. Oh, we'll let you know
all the time. Well, we'll let you know when I'm up, and we'll get together. No one ever does. Everyone's lies. It's all lies, Sarah.
True.
Well, do you guys have plans to like come visit LA?
I mean,
maybe within the next year, I'll probably be there because I have friends. I used to go there every year, so I mean, I have friends there, so I probably would come there probably within the next year. So
there you go. I think she's inviting you, Adam.
Yeah.
Sure. Cool. I'd be there.
So like, not for the Boston cream pie train.
I can't hear you. You cut out.
You caught the back end of that train.
I didn't know. Wow. I didn't hear anything.
You know what? I think in the age of Me Too, it's going to reach women as well. So I really should probably start watching what I'm saying to the two of you.
I don't think anyone would Me Too a woman unless they didn't like women in the first place.
That's true. Yeah,
unless she was ugly.
I mean, I wouldn't even let a ugly girl say bad stuff to me, and I wouldn't care because I feel like I'm getting attention, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. So, you know.
Ryan Long comedy.
Ryan Long comedy.
I'm gonna guess
he's
Asian.
In New York. No, he's Long, Long. No, he's white. He's a New York comic, and he I haven't really seen his stand up, but I think he's Canadian actually. Or like
wow,
yeah,
great eyes. Nice eyes.
This oh my goodness, you need to watch his sketches. They're so funny because I'm sorry, but like he plays these characters like feminist mom, you know, homeschooling her son, and just watch the sketch at some point, you know. So when you're with three men at the same time, Mom, I don't want to be with three men at the same time.
Yeah, it sounds like a nightmare.
It's funny. I love these, you know, sketch comics. Ryan Long, Trevor Wallace, Amanda McCants, Churdleys. Do you guys watch any like sketch comedies? Yeah. Like
I took a couple sketch comedy classes and actually enjoyed them thoroughly because I enjoy like Whose Line Is Anyways, like the improv like sketches and stuff, and like Saturday Night Live and Mad TV. So I always thought it was very interesting. And the rating, and then when you take a sketch rating class, you realize how different it is from just rating down what you think to like how you have to like rate it to make it work. Otherwise, you just like it doesn't make any sense, you know. So fascinating. So, sketch shows are great. They just doesn't seem to be a lot of them around, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really seen like live sketch. I just meant like on YouTube, like the comics who make kind of sketches, like, you know, Dad on a Sunday or Dad at the I was gonna say I really don't like improv.
No,
that's real.
Have you ever tried?
I don't like. I have. I took level 1 at UCB. I mean, you know, the class itself helped me be a better comic. It helped me loosen up on stage because I used to be like on stage. But as far as watching it, I don't know if it's really my jam. You know, I don't. So what about you guys?
It's weird because it has to be good. Otherwise, it's just not good. So it's like the best way to describe it is I like musical improv. I always find that very interesting when someone can just bounce into a song and kind of like whose line was. But taking an improv, I took like 4 or 5 levels of improv at the school, and it was it just gets weird at the end. The best of the games, like they play like Guess Who's Here, like and like you know what I mean, you have 3 characters and you have to try to guess who the characters are based on like when you play the games within the group, it's funny. When it's just 3 guys on stage talking about give me a location, give me an occupation, give me something you wouldn't want your mother to see, and then they gotta like make a joke out of it. It's like how many times? And you always get someone in the crowd yelling penis or yelling like something stupid, and it's just like, yeah, how are we gonna deal with this over and over? So I get you. It has to be good improv, otherwise it's just it's wasted.
Yeah. A lot of people have asked me, they're like, so are like rebuttals and stuff during roast battle improv? And like, usually no. I mean, usually you have to kind of do the work beforehand and kind of think of what they could say to you. Is there roast battle in Boston?
Yeah, there's a few. Adam and I went to one night. Remember we went to that one when they had the comics Christmas party?
Yes, I remember that. Yes.
And it's like, yeah, and you know who you're going up against too, so you got to do the research, and you can tell people doing homework. Like one person brought up someone's like child support payments that were missing and stuff. Like some people are doing some serious work. So yeah, it gets interesting. I think they're cool as long as everyone's on the same page, because you don't want to be like sensitive and someone just like, man, why'd you say that? That wasn't cool, man.
Well, sometimes people roast somebody and it doesn't sound like a roast at all. Like there's this one guy who's like, his dick is so big. That's like, that sounds more like a fucking compliment. How is that a roast? Like, it's weird.
Yeah, LA comics tend to be pretty classy when it comes to like, you know, respecting boundaries and not bringing up stuff you were asked not to bring up. Even if someone feeds me information, like someone else, you know, about, oh, they have a dead cousin or something, you know, I'm not going to use that. It's about the joke. It's about exercising that joke writing muscle, not about hurting someone's feelings.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But on that note, I think you two should roast battle each other. I think that would be fun.
Probably I think
tomorrow in the office, Arty.
We both battled each other drunk, yelling at each other at times. So I mean, who hasn't? Regular day in the life of a drunk Bostonian. We just yell at each other. That's how we know we like each other. Is if you actually. That's another thing too. When you go to Boston and if no one talks to you, that means they don't like you. If they insult you, that means they like you. Like,
true.
I feel like being in Boston is just like a constant roast battle.
Oh yeah, everyone's busting each other's balls.
Fucking evil though. Like anywhere else you go in the country, it's like that's mean. No, here that's just how we fucking talk.
Yeah. People hear our conversations sometimes when we're like out of town, and they think we're just mean people to each other, and they don't realize no, like we like each other. That's why we insult each other's personal issues and get to the thing that makes them cry the most.
I will say Boston type of comedy does not work in Canada. And I've seen it a few times in Canada. It does not fucking work at all. Like they all think we're mean, horrible, like in that type of comedy. It doesn't work.
You know? Grow a spine, you fucking pussy.
There you go.
Yeah. Boston and Iran have the same culture then. Because
yeah, I've never been to Iran, and I can only imagine.
Yeah. Around. No,
okay. So that makes sense. Is that the flag you have on your profile?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't zoom in enough, and I thought it was a Mexican flag.
Yeah, someone asked. Okay, so this is perfect because this is like when I thought baseball and basketball okay, you know what? I just fucked myself over again. It's fine. I actually read an Alien comic and he thought the same thing. But yeah, it's similar. You know, a lot of flags have those 3 colors on there.
Yeah. True. Actually, I didn't really zoom in because I know like it wasn't an Italian flag, because the Italian wouldn't have like I would see the other way too, but it wouldn't have like the thing in the middle.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it and I look real quick. I'm like, oh, like the Mexican flag, and you're from and I thought maybe you're from California. Like, oh, maybe she's Spanish. Like, I don't know, maybe she's Mexican, and that would make sense. But now this makes sense as well now that I know the background. So
yeah, no, I mean, I get Mexican all the time. I get Arab, I get Israeli, I get Greek, Black before multiple times.
Are you a fan of the Saws of Sunset, that TV show?
Actually, I just wrapped Saws of Sunset a few weeks ago. I'm a story producer for that show.
Get out of here, really?
Yeah, that's my day job.
Damn, so you must know it in and out pretty well, considering you're with them, you know.
Yeah, you know, it's honestly like I like it. I like seeing the whole cast being, you know, Persian, because I mean, already are you Latino? Are you guys just both white, or are you
Italian.
Everyone thinks I'm Jewish, but I'm not.
Yeah,
too, but
What?
one thinks I'm Jewish too.
Yeah. Well,
but it's great because I have a fetish for Jewish guys, so that's fine. But yeah.
oh,
couple of guys that act Jewish, you know, like ones that don't pay for a lot of stuff. Like we have friends like that you might be into.
Okay, that's in my way. Yeah, no, my dream guy is Jared Kushner, but with next.
Did you say Jared Kushner? He looks like a fucking alien. He's like evil.
That's Adam's number one.
He's a fucking robot, like creepy motherfucker. Oh.
I love men who look like they're dying, though. Like, you know, dark. I like the really, really skinny guys with like dark circles under their eyes who like ribs sticking out.
Like the purple bags that go down their hair and the fucking.
Yeah.
Someone was just on a 3-week bender. Yeah, exactly.
That's perfect. Yes, 3-week bender.
Liver's failing them, and they're just on the streets, and they're like, I haven't had him. I know a guy like that. He the reason he looks like that is because he just got out of prison. So I'm like, you know, it does a job on you.
So AIDS patients, all you.
Oh,
just way to protect.
No, the shot is great because it's a full cast of just Middle Eastern people, which it's rare to see a cast of all just people of color on a TV show in mainstream US, and half the cast is half is Muslim. It really does provide like insight into, you know, kind of the cultural practices of Persians in LA. And the drama is a lot of fun.
I love the flamboyant guy with the mustache. He's
Reza.
Yes.
Reza's, oh man, Reza's awesome.
Yeah. I love his mustache. I wish I could grow a mustache like that.
Yeah. He shaved it, I believe, for the last few seasons.
Oh, okay.
That's a great.
I've seen it. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, Sarah, we're approaching the end of the show. Is there anything you'd like to plug or share with our listeners?
I would love for you guys to follow me on Instagram at Sarah Fatemi Comedy, on Twitter at Sarah Key June. That's SARAKIJOON, and YouTube YouTube Sarah Fatemi Comedy, and all of my sketches and stand-up clips are on there. And my Venmo, Sarah Fatemi, if you're curious.
Do you have a an OnlyFans set up yet, like everyone else in LA?
Yeah. How about Patreon?
Yeah, Patreon.
No, but would you guys buy my OnlyFans? Be honest. Should I make an?
Yeah, I mean, we're always about spreading the love, so there you go.
Mm-hmm. Spreading the love. Okay, sounds good. Cool.
That's what
Sorry, and that was the love for me. My name is Sarah Fatemi. I'll be here all week. No, but sorry.
Oh, maybe. Listen, it's part of the show. It's not the weirdest thing we've had on the show. I can tell you.
It's definitely, you're not even close. You're like a 5 on the weird
this is
scale.
what we've done before and not gotten in trouble for. So we're just putting our toe back in the old pond, as I like to say.
When will this and when will this be premiering?
This should be online Friday. So we are live right now on Facebook, so everyone in the world can entertain who's watching us on the Facebook page. But this will be on iTunes and YouTube on Friday night. So there you go.
That's awesome. I'm excited. Yeah, I definitely. Will you be able to send it to me, or like something I would love to promote? I'd love to post some of the clips from the show and promote. Yeah, perfect.
You're so needy. God.
I'm so sorry for trying to offer you clout. No.
We appreciate it.
I appreciate you guys having me on. This was so much fun. It's so awesome. Please let me know when you're in LA. I would love to hook you up with some shows stuff. And I hope to visit you guys in Boston. And again, so sorry for thinking that the show was PST, not EST. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you for joining us. You're great.
Yeah, we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Talk to you.
Ooh.
Oh, did you hit the button too soon?
Well, you could tell she was in California basically because of the brownouts she would have and with their terrible power grid they have out there.
True.
Yeah, they probably will. I mean, internet's a wild thing because that's like 3,200 miles away from us right now.
It's amazing how fragile like the electric system, like the infrastructure and electricity really is. Like we just deal with it. Like there's all these horrible power lines like hanging over us. It's like archaic, and we just deal with it.
No, it's actually funny, and I didn't know this until they had that big blackout in Texas. Like the east of the Rocky Mountains is on one grid, and east and west of the Rockies are on a completely other grid, and Texas is on their completely own grid, and the grids don't interlink or each other. Like that's why Texas couldn't borrow electricity from the rest of the grid, is because they're in a whole different system. Doesn't that seem like stupid to you?
Very stupid. I don't get it.
Like, and I know like we get electricity from like southern Canada and like Niagara Falls stuff. Because remember when they had that big blackout in New York City like 10 years ago, and they were like had no electricity for like 3 to 4 days. I forget, it had to be 2011 or so. It was because there was a situation with the power coming from Canada and the grid overloaded or something like that of all the air conditioner. Do you know they haven't built a power plant in Massachusetts since 1968?
Yeah, they don't build them anymore though because they've realized that like you can't just when you build a nuclear power plant, you can't just shut it.
Yeah, down. No, well they did. They shut down Plymouth. It's down by it's always going to be there as kind of a I know what you're saying.
Yeah, it's like hard. It's not as simple as turning off a switch. It's like
and no one wants a fucking power plant in their backyard. That's the problem. In the 60s, they could build shit anywhere they wanted to, and no one said anything. But now it's like the environmental people would come in, the conservative, So what are they going to do? How are we going to get power?
Cleaner energy sources. I mean, we could get into this one next week. This is a whole other conversation to open up here. 0 point energy.
I thought it was an interesting fact that they haven't built a power plant in Massachusetts since 1968, but we've been using so much more electricity than we were in 1968. I know electronics are more efficient. I know a TV is not pulling the wattage like it did on a tube TV, but still, I don't know.
Oh, man.
Something to think about out there, people. So, if you watch us on YouTube, go ahead and hit the like button and hit the subscribe button so you get when we're on all the time. And you can catch these shows every Friday night. We post them. Adam, you plugging anything?
Always, you can check out The World Potato stuff. A lot of stuff just in the works, just kind of hanging out. One subscriber away from 400. So just go for it.
That's good. Look at that.
Yes, and I don't do much.
The Packy page just got 72 this week, so we're hanging in there.
Yeah. We've been doing this how long though? Both those numbers, my numbers, your numbers, are all pathetic.
We just don't know the algorithm. Someday,
no, it's just that we just don't. We don't have the energy to put into it to really to make it what we want because we have real jobs.
Yeah,
like that's what it is. Like
it's exactly.
We can't write material. We can't take time to actually write the material we want to do what we want to do because we're adults and have to work and do stuff.
Sucks being an adult, doesn't it?
It does.
And we'll leave it at that. You can get obviously me on DJ Arty84 on Instagram and the Arty84 show. Just type in the Arty84 show and you get all of our episodes on YouTube, Podbean, iTunes, and all your podcast needs. And if you were hanging on in the beginning of the show, we apologize for the lovely Comcast cable working so well in the beginning of the show each and every week. Like it knows we're going on at 8 o'clock, so it shuts down for 15 minutes. But thank you for hanging in there. We appreciate it.
I blame the government. They know what we're talking about shit. They
don't like us. The IRS definitely doesn't like. So
they don't know. They don't like you. No, they don't.
Just the other departments of the government are probably equally hateful towards me. So what are you gonna do? All right. Well, see you guys next week. Toodaloo, motherfuckers. Next Wednesday, not Thursday. Wednesday. Bye.